All right, I'm back. Let me adjust this volume some. Okay, we got that down. Cool, 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 cool. All right. I had to jump off of this thing because I was getting this audio. It's like all of a sudden my audio just switched. Like I was on something completely different. I didn't hear from you. Did you hear? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Man, I be getting all these little live streams in the middle of all of that joint. Oh, boy, let me tell you, raw. Raw. I got to stop. I'm getting so emotional. All right. So that way I'm able to hear. Okay, cool. I see my audio adjusting. Cool. Let's go. All right. All right. Let me test it one more time. Okay. Cool. 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 Yeah. 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 Boom. All right. Uh, boom. All right. Cool. So we're here. All right. Hmm. I still got that ad lib. I still got that audio kickback. Check. Check. That adverb. Yeah. That reverb. That reverb. Testing. Testing.
Congratulations, well done.
Test. Test. Test.
Congratulations, well done.
Test. 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 Good. All right. Man, I'm working at a different studio right now. I'm working at a different studio right now. Who chatting me up? Y'all chatting me up. What y'all chat? What's going on? Who got something to say? What y'all talking about? Boom. Man, I started at this other station. I don't know what's up, man. Like I got another mixing board, another soundboard. Like the mixing board, the soundboard I got over here. Test, test, test. Yeah. Weird. It just mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Delayed audio. Yeah, yeah. Take that. All right. Where was I at? I jumped right off. I said when I jumped off, I said, man, I can't jump off of this. I can't just jump off, bro. Come on. We gotta go back into this. Because I'm not done with what I gotta say. All right, cool. Let's go over to necessary. All right, so the Atlanta real estate market right now is going through, in my opinion, a type of reset or collapse. Okay. If you are looking for real estate property and you're trying to buy real estate in Atlanta, you're trying to buy your first home, you're trying to sell your home and move to your new home, the reality of it is that these numbers are going down. I mean, I've had property on the market, and I've one property I had five offers that came in, and all five of them fell through, either through the loan situation, the buyer pulling out, but most of the time it's the buyer pulling out. And I personally believe they're just going around the corner and they're seeing something else that's probably slightly less, a little bit of extra features, and they're going with that. And they're using the leverage of their current contract, if they're under one, to actually allow them to win more deals, like to leverage in their negotiation. So the real estate market in Atlanta has changed, and I believe is only going to get more volatile. And how do I know this? 18 years in the real estate business. I've seen them come and go. I've negotiated them, sold them, buy them, did all those different things in between, helping with buyers, sellers, investors, all those different things. Nobody has ever seen this type of market before. And it's not even like the markets in 2006. The markets in 2006, going to 8, 2009, just even when it was collapsing, it afforded opportunities. I mean, people were losing their house, which was a sad thing, but you had a ton of people now starting to get off the fence slowly and buy houses. So the money was still flowing even when it was, it's even. But this market right now, this real estate market is going to create so much wealth if you don't let the chaos of all of this stuff going on in the economy, all this stuff going on with the jobs, all this stuff going on with fraud, Minnesota, the political climate. And if you can just lock in, you'll make a ton of freaking money in this real estate market. Take it from an 18-year broker, investor, all of that. This is the thing that they're not talking about. They're not speaking about. And what's even crazier and deep, I've had more conversations with people about creative financing where they're putting a fraction of their money down. In some cases, not even going to get a loan because the market is getting dicey. Put it like that.
All right, y'all. So I wanted to come on here and show y'all this loft located in the Castleberry Hill area in Atlanta, Georgia. And right now, this loft is $279,500. Willing to help you with some of the buy down on your mortgage rate, and they are going 100% financing. And there are 19 units available right now. All of them are for sale, like crazy. It went viral on Instagram, and I wanted to come on here and TikTok to give y'all an inside look on what some of these lofts look like. Again, 19 of them available. This is the room area right here, as you can see. Very large open space. Room right here. Closet space. And you have all these windows, a lot of natural light. This is perfect for artsy people. You can go ahead and rent these out, but if you are doing rentals in here, they do want them to be long-term rentals.
So we're seeing more inventory like this hit the market, and I don't think it's going to stop. I think it's actually going to increase just based on the fact that the buyers they can't keep up with the inventory. The inventory can't keep up. Well, you got more inventory than you have buyers. The buyers aren't keeping up.
The correlation between an Atlanta zip code and safety is not as strong as it used to be. Police are being called to pricey residences.
Activities are starting to change from what we are seeing in the streets to these more secure apartment complexes, location that may have a concierge desk or something of that nature. And we're working on a strategy to see how we can infiltrate that and intervene in those areas.
You have no idea who's living next to you.
This security consultant is on the ground floor of this
My guy, Candace, what's up, man? Thanks for jumping on the stream, hollering at your boy.
He hires off-duty cops to patrol and design security plans. His off-duty officers having to de-escalate the situation. But it sounds like it's happening on the doorstep and down the hall.
Exactly. That's the assumption, is that if you can afford a luxury condo in Buckhead, then you're safe because you got a concierge, which is not really security, that's manning the front desk. But then you have tenants that are not supposed to be in that kind of building, but they can afford it however they make their money.
So they're targeting y'all. I keep saying this. They're targeting y'all, and they're going to keep targeting y'all because as this market gets more and more, money just is the way that it is right now. You got a lot more people that don't have than have, or the people that have are smart. They're not spending their money just all over the place. They're starting to target y'all. So when you're looking for these houses, you got to realize that there is an app. It is a Crime Watch app. And you need to subscribe to it.
Congratulations, well done.
You need to actually take the time, look up the address, and see how many pedophiles live around you, okay? Now, you may not have any pedophiles. God bless you if you don't. But you need to know who they robbing, from the cars that get broken into to the houses that get broken into. Because in this shift that's happening, the wealth is going to start rolling pretty soon, meaning we're going to have people, the baby boomers, parents, grandparents for some, that begin to pass away. and they're moving that money over to you guys. Don't sell the houses. Don't put them out there. If you can, buy more. If you can't, buy more. Buy more, learn creative financing, try to jump onto that and stay onto it, because the confusion, I keep saying this confusion is designed to make you not pay attention to the transfer. Whether it's AI that I talk about or whether it's real estate, it doesn't matter. But they're targeting you guys.
And they're allowed to have guns inside these buildings because it's your home.
Once a high-income individual who may have questionable character is inside the gates, is it too late?
There's steps that, property managers and owners of the buildings can do, but, it might hit their bottom line. It might cost them, but if they don't do anything, it's going to impact the innocent people that are staying there.
And the security consultant noted that the summertime climate is already here. That'll mean in those high-rises, deck parties, drinking, and the likelihood that there'll be some guns in bags by the pool.
Atlanta real estate market is crazy right now, with deals falling left, right, and center. In fact, Atlanta led the nation with the number of canceled contracts in August of 2025, with 21% of deals just collapsing. Here's what's really happening.
So, like I said, I had one house on the east side. I had 5 contracts on this house in a matter of 2 months. Crazy. I've never seen that happen before. I've never lost 5 deals back to back to back on one house. So this is how I know that these buyers, you buyers out here, this is a buyer's market. Shop, find the deals, okay? Put in as many offers as you need to put in, because there are deals out here and you got to take advantage of them. I'm not even mad at those guys who dropped them off those contracts on the property, because I probably would have did the same thing.
I've been a real estate agent for almost 20 years, and I literally study the market every day. Sellers are stuck in the past. They're still thinking it's 2021, 2022, when homes sold in days and buyers waived contingencies and prices are skyrocketing. When the reality is that inventory is up 20% year over year here in Atlanta, so buyers have options. They're comparing listings, they're extremely cautious, and they're walking away when their expectations are not met. So sellers overestimate the value of the home and they list high. And then the market responds with crickets. Nobody's making offers. And then they drop the price. And they drop the price again until they eventually find someone to buy the property, or they decide that they don't want to sell and they withdraw the listing. And then there's the buyers who think that, oh, it's a buyer's market. I can go ahead and offer 50 grand under asking, and then turn around and ask for everything listed on the inspection report. And then they're shocked when sellers say no. So both sides are misaligned, and that's why you're seeing property sit on the market for a longer period of time.
Yeah, so what she's talking about is buyers that ask for too much in their offers. Yeah, if you want a property, buy the property. Ask for as much as you can. Don't go over the board thinking that you're going to get it at 50%. This is not a 2009, 2010 time. Will it get to that point? I'm a believer that it will get to that point. Why? Because as long as we have an issue with low supply of inventory, and as long as we have an issue with buyers, there's still buyers out there who want to buy, but they can't buy. They're gearing up to buy. And so it's less buyers out there. You will still have the advantage, okay? But 50K below market in Atlanta market, unless you're buying something, I think that's like 900,000, 800,000. But if you're going for like $300,000 homes, $400,000 homes, right now the average price of a home in Atlanta is roughly about $425,000. So you don't need to be coming down $50,000 on that and thinking you're going to get the deal. And don't run around town thinking you're going to find a $50,000 deal. It's more important to buy in the right location than to buy for the perfect amount. Okay? You want a good amount, but you want to buy in the right location, because the right location is going to determine in the next 5 to 10 years if you sell at a loss or a profit, or you just break even.
And price cut after price cut, and deals falling apart during the inspection period. Look, we're in a very peculiar market right now. A lot is happening, a lot of moving pieces. Here's my advice to sellers. Be realistic about what your property is worth. Decide if you want to sell, and if you do want to sell, list it right the first time. It saves you time, stress, and frustration. Advice to buyers. Be realistic, be prepared, and don't go in with the expectation that every seller is desperate. Decide if you want to buy a home or not. Yes, there's room to negotiate. Feel free to, but don't go crazy. I'm Natalie Connell, your Atlanta realtor. Keep on the radar about what's really happening in the real estate market. Don't forget to follow for more.
The only thing that you're gonna get in
Hey, go out and give give her a shout, man. Give her a shout. I love to see realtors doing their thing. Give them a shout.
Atlanta for $100,000 is dust. This is the first house right here. It says 3-bed, 1-bath, but it looks like it's really just a vacant lot. There's nothing there. So I think that's just the cost for the lot. The next one, $89,000. This house has busted windows. I guarantee you it's busted in there. You're going to have to put some extra money.
Hey, so these are fixer-upper deals that they float around the Atlanta market all the time. Hey, if you're interested in a fixer-upper deal, the links in the description. Just go ahead and fill out the form, and somebody will reach out to you, verify it. But these are off-market deals that we get. I work with a bunch of people, and they have these off-market deals, and they're always clamoring, Leon, you got somebody to buy here, somebody to buy here, somebody to buy here. Man, I started doing it in 2015, and I haven't turned back at all. Off-market deals are the best way to find the best deals. Now, granted, depending on your loan situation, they may not fit. So we definitely need to talk about it before you move forward in any of those deals. But if you are just someone and you're ready to work on a house and get it to where it needs to be, you need it to add to your real estate portfolio, or let's say you wanted to be your primary residence, but you just want to do a cosmetic you don't mind doing a cosmetic facelift on the house, and you want to get a deal like that, then these off-market deals work for you. And these are what she's talking about.
With it to live there. That's an ad that just passed. This one says $99,000. Again, busted, can't live in there, fixer upper, nothing nothing turnkey. $95,000, same story, nothing turnkey. So essentially, and this one right here, $57,000, just a vacant lot. So $100,000 is not going to get you nothing here unless you got extra money to put with it, turn it around and sell it or live in it. So people think they're going to come down here and live like kings and queens.
Hey there, it's Deanna Lindo, your Metro Atlanta realtor broker.
Okay, yeah. So don't think you're going to come down to Atlanta and live like a king and a queen. Honestly, it's not like it used to be back in the day, but there are still deals down to be had here. You just got to know what type of deal you're looking for, and got to get the right people working it.
Consultant. So let's talk about the market for a second, specifically here in Atlanta. The market in Atlanta right now, guys, is, in a word, weird. Slow, stagnant. And the reason why I say that is because we have the most inventory that we've had in the market right now in the last 3 years. We have the most right now. But the buyers, they're not biting as quickly as they normally do during this summer buying and selling season. So I think there are a few reasons for that. I think buyers are still iffy about interest rates, iffy about housing affordability, iffy about the economy, what's happening in the world. So I think that's what's really holding them back. And
that's going to be your primary way to drive down the next property you're trying to buy. And I believe also, a lot of people aren't speaking about this, the multifamily space is probably one of the best places you can join and grab some deals at also. You do have multifamily buyers. I've got some multifamily sellers that have sent their portfolio to me to actually liquidate, for not out of distress, but out of other situations. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are talking about that. But winter storm, I'm sitting at the propane tank at a U-Haul station, and I'm trying to actually get my propane tank full. And the lady next to me just bought a generator for her duplex, which her son stays on the other side. And we get to talking about it, and think about it. He's paying her rent. Is a duplex. She's making money off of her son living there at the same time. And if he moves or goes somewhere, she's got the other side of the duplex to lease out. So as the market does this shift and you see this pullback, look for things like that. Look for things like that, because it's a great way to actually scale your portfolio or even find your primary residence. Look, my dog down there tripping. Let's go.
And giving them pause. So that's my take. Hope you guys are having a good day, and we'll see you on the next video.
New developments now on a story I first told you about last March. We're getting answers after complaints at a historic downtown Atlanta condominium high-rise. Now, those who call it home say Airbnbs are just taking over, causing chaos and higher fees. Today, the board responds to those.
It's too low.
I've been low-key trying to buy a house in Atlanta for some time, and I have my Zillow alerts on, and a house, 4-bed, 4-bath, just showed up on the market for $889,000 on the same fucking street that I was touring a house in the middle of the day, and then we walk out, me and my real estate agent, and the cop drives by, rolls down his window, and he goes, did you just buy the house? And we go, no, we're just checking it out. And he goes, don't buy it. And we were like, and the cop was like, you do not want to buy a house here. $889,000 for a house on a street that a cop literally said, don't fucking buy here. Don't do it. Oh my God.
That she got to be lucky she met that cop, that he came by that, because that's the thing about Atlanta, man. You will find some houses, you'll find some blocks that are beautiful, then you'll find some blocks that is going through the gentrification, but the houses are like 800, 600, 500,000. And you're thinking, man, I would never live here. I think this is equivalent to like the brownstones in New York right about now, where people, it is simply because people buy these, and the people in Brooklyn, they start not looking like the people that originally had the house. Meaning, I'm sorry guys, but it's a huge gentrification thing that's going on, white folks. You guys are buying up some places in the urban Atlanta area. So I don't know. When I look at it, is it worth the purchase? Between the higher taxes that you pay living in the city of Atlanta and the instability when it comes to like Airbnb, and they haven't quite gotten that whole thing down. So your guy right across the street from you can actually have an Airbnb and throw wild parties because they're still trying to figure out their Airbnb permitting process. Pick up the crime app, get a crime app, check it out, and make sure that you're not dealing with a high crime zone. Just because the house is 800,000 doesn't mean that it's not a high crime zone. I repeat it again. It doesn't mean that Atlanta is different. Very different. So you got to really do your homework when it comes to that type of stuff, or you're going to get caught out there.
Be very careful where you buy a house. I have this property in Atlanta that I'm trying to sell for $5.
I don't know why the audio's missing on that, but either way.
4 years maybe that I can't sell because of the fucking HOA. Not because my property is not attractive to buyers, not because there's anything wrong with my property. The reason I can't sell that bitch is because the HOA is shit. They don't have any reserves. They don't have any financials. They cannot provide any documentation for a lender in order to clear the property for close. First of all, they're not on the FHA approved condo list, right? Then, again, with no budgets, even a conventional loan require you to submit a budget to show the health of the HOA. They don't have that. I don't know what's going on with the liability insurance. It's just shit. And I want to sell that property so bad, but I can't now. So when I put the property in the market a couple of years ago, I listed it for $239. I put a lot of money into that property. Got 2 or 3 offers. The first one was FHA. We tried doing a special approval thing that didn't work because they couldn't provide a budget. They didn't have a budget. So I was like, okay, we can only accept conventional loans. Conventional loan came. They still can provide the basic information that Fannie Mae requires in order for them to underwrite the loan. Couldn't even do that. So I lost those buyers. Then I eventually pulled the property off the market because I was like, I'm not doing this. Right? So I put the property off the market and I put it on Airbnb. I monitor the market. Because now they can only accept cash buyers and investors, the prices of that community has just dropped because people that want to sell that are desperate to sell have to reduce their price to get an investor, to get someone that's buying it all cash.
And what she's saying is the HOA in some of these communities in Atlanta and surrounding Atlanta. Oh man, I could do a whole series on HOAs. It's freaking ridiculous. These HOAs can make it where you end up buying a house, and because it's been poorly maintained, which has happened to me twice. You figure the first time it happened, you will learn your lesson. It's happened to me twice. You get in a situation and you can't sell to the buyers that you want to sell to. For example, if a buyer has an FHA loan and that community, that HOA isn't meeting certain guidelines, FHA won't allow that buyer to buy in that community. Meaning, if let's say the HOA community they're required to have a reserve, they can't go past 20% of their reserve mark, for example, or the reserve has to be a certain dollar amount, for example. If they don't have that, which is prevalent in some places, some communities on the south side of Atlanta, we're talking Union City, College Park, what's the other one? Union City, College Park, some South Fulton. If there's an issue right there with that reserve amount, you can't close on a loan. And a lot of buyers don't know because they get in that situation and they find out, hold on, what's going on? The community, it has nothing to do with your loan. And you wasted all this time under contract, and then you find out on the back end. So if you are going to buy a house, I tell you, do the best to stay away from HOAs. And if you got to go to an HOA, and some people love HOAs, I've got an HOA. It's not a strict HOA community I'm in, but I've got an HOA. And for me, it just keeps a level of consistency, but it's not strict. Some of these HOAs are very strict. So when you have people in that community, because this is the thing they don't tell you, you're not buying a house, you're buying the whole community, you're buying the neighborhood. But when you have people in that community that don't pay their HOAs, it's going to affect you. Please understand, it's going to affect you more than you think.
That's not going to be requiring financing to buy. And so the price went down from, what I had mine listed for, but now they're selling for 165, 150. I've even seen some of them trying to sell for. And again, it's because of the fucking HOA. The HOA is $315 a month. Them bitch don't do nothing. The gate has been broken for years.
Ooh, $315 a month. What?
Congratulations. Well done.
Oh, that is one of the things of Atlanta where people don't really talk too much about. These HOA in certain communities will kick your butt, drag you out, and they'll look at you stupid when they give you the invoice and you don't pay for it. And then when you pay for it, they'll say, oh, we waiting for everybody else to pay for it. We use yours to pay for the staff over there in the community center. So I keep saying this, stay away from these HOAs. You guys will have a hell of a lot better chance, I'm telling you, in getting deals.
To get to use the pool, the community pool that you pay in HOA fees for every month, you have to have a security clearance because they have like a signed or somebody that's manning the pool that you have to show that you live there, proof of residency. It's just stupid, and I want to get out so bad. The takeaway for this is, if you're buying into a community that has an HOA, particularly a condo or a townhouse, look at the fucking HOA. Because when it's time to sell, if they're anything like this bitches over here, it's a headache. It's a nightmare. Be very careful.
Yeah, more of a nightmare and a headache than you know. I've been in situations, man, when I did not read the HOA disclosures. So, and you figure, Leon, you've been doing this since 09, 08. Why the hell you not reading the HOA disclosures? Because sometimes you get cocky and you've done it and you're like, I've done it. I know what I'm doing. Dude, come to find out that the HOA reserves were not met. So that means nobody could buy it through an FHA program. But even deeper, what was worse is that even the convention, it needed to be a conventional, it needed to be a VA loan, or they needed to do it cash. Okay. Ooh, the conventional fell apart also because conventional in that stage, they were still looking for a certain amount to be made. They were looking at the neighborhood and wondering why the numbers were fluctuating. It was so sketchy. We ended up selling it to a VA person. I ended up getting a whole lot less than I anticipated getting because it took longer to actually sell the deal. So I say, if you're going to mess around with real estate, please stay away from these HOAs. I've had an HOA tell me that I couldn't even sell the property to a particular party because the party that was buying the property, they were actually buying it through another entity or another group that they were buying it for them. And that's a normal thing. It happens now. And they were going to lease it back to them. And so it looked like a lease. It was more issue with the buyer that was buying it to lease back to that family. But they told them every day that family leases the property because we're talking about a community with houses that are fully 5-6 bedroom houses, had a gas station in a freaking in the community. So it was definitely, they were trying to protect something. They wanted to definitely make sure they kept all the riffraff out. Nobody said, well, they did tell us, you can't have renters. I'm not thinking about renting the property. I'm thinking about selling it. We're fixing it to actually sell it. But the time comes to sell it to the buyer is planning on leasing it to someone. They're not living there. They're an investment company. They buy stuff for people, lease it to them, and then the people end up buying it from them. So it took till the actual day that property was about to be foreclosed on because my partner didn't even pay the bill. She let it fly. For us to actually find a buyer and to get it sold. Now, cool thing about this, I had a relationship with the lender, so they were cool with me. But at the end of the day, God, if I was someone that needed to actually sell it and relocate, and it was important for my family to get rid of this because we couldn't carry 2 mortgages and it was that crazy, it would have actually went into foreclosure. It would have been a terrible situation. These HOAs are like mafia sometimes. So if you're going to buy a house, make sure you check the HOA and realize that even when this market is collapsing right now, in the real estate market in Atlanta is collapsing, there's so much freaking opportunity. It's just so much opportunity. So I'm going to do this last one because I wanted to cover what some of y'all renters are dealing with. Oh, I apologize for it. I'm sorry it's like that. When I moved to Atlanta back in 2000, the rental market was not like this, dude. It was not. I think the rental market is more competitive than the buyer's market, right? And what's worse about it is that you've got a bunch of little management companies and you don't know who to actually trust with some of this rental situation because they'll tell you to put an application in. And I've heard people complain about it before. Leon, I put an application in and guess what? They act like they didn't know me. They went with someone else. And that's what happens because you can have 50 people applying for that same apartment. Just because you put an application in doesn't mean you're going to get it. They're going to put you right next to a bunch of other people to say, who's the best one to go with? And that's becoming more and more prevalent in the market, the rental market in Atlanta right now.
So I seen a video about a man. He went to go to an apartment and the family was moving in. And he's like, what the fuck? I had that exact same experience, except for they were washing clothes. And then they even left the apartment so I can tour it. But they left me with their kids. Yeah, like 2 kids. And the leasing agent, I guess, realized and tried to come in and grab them. And the baby just started crying. Like, I'm finna show y'all the video. Comes with the computer room. Nice, spacious. Bedroom. On the outside, there's no ceiling like I don't like doing it. Closet. Living room, just closet. Closet. Third bedroom. Again. All it's basically the same, just a little bit.
The pond full of it.
Aww. Spacious.
What you think so far?
So I finally found my place in Atlanta.
Wow. I hadn't experienced that yet. Literally, the other family was still in the house. Renting in Atlanta, my heart goes out to people that want to rent in this city, man, or need to rent in this city. It is probably the most horrible thing to deal with, in my opinion. Horrible. And look, my dog's going crazy, man. Come on.
I'll tell you, if you're looking for an apartment in Atlanta, like, please use discernment. Because when I tell you, these apartment complexes be scammed. First of all, the fact that so many of these apartment complexes in Atlanta is charging upwards of $300 just to put in the application. And the way that they doing it, you know it's a scam. And you know something about it just can't be legal because they doing it as $100 for an application fee and then $200 for like an administrative fee. But the administrative fee is non-refundable whether you get approved or denied. So ultimately, it's all the application fee. Another way that I feel like these apartments really be scamming in Atlanta is that they'll be promoting these promotions. But the thing about it is they'll have you put in the application, they'll hold up your application to after the promotion is over. And they do it like that because they know that you don't really want to throw away your money, so it kind of backs you into a corner to still have to move into their complex anyway. So if you do put in the application for an apartment and they have a promotion going on, first off, ask them how long is your application going to be, and if that application gets approved after the promotion, will you still get that promotion? Another way that they be scamming on these promotions, if they do end up giving you the promotion, is a lot of times they won't tell you that they won't apply that promotion until the second month of your lease. So if you got a set move-in cost and you expecting a promotion, make sure you know that that promotion is going to get applied the day of move-in. And the last thing that I truly cannot stand about 90% of these complexes, they do not answer the phone. Like, you are not going to hear from these people. And bro, they always act like you bothering them. And I'm telling you now, if you get a leasing agent like that, like, do not apply at that complex, because I'm telling you, they will hold up your application process and you'll waste so much time just waiting to hear back from the people.
If rule of thumb, the rule of thumb is if you feel it, like if you sense it, if you in any way, shape, or form, like get it like that little feeling like, I don't know if I want to do this, follow that thought. Follow that thought. From someone that's lived on the south side of Atlanta, I've lived in multiple apartments before I even bought a house. And my dog is going crazy right now. I'm hoping that one of my kids will actually be able to stop him. I've seen it, and I've seen it all. So I would say, for a large part, hey, if you get that feeling, just go with your gut feeling. Don't mess with it.
I wouldn't wish apartment hunting in Atlanta on my worst enemy. But the worst part about searching for an apartment in this city is going to a really nice building and seeing a whole bunch of dudes on the property that look like they don't belong there. And y'all know what I'm talking about. I'll never understand why beautiful, successful women love moving into a nice apartment, and the first thing y'all want to do is invite your homeless boyfriends to move in with you. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I ain't talking about like legit homeless people. I have a lot of empathy for them. I'm talking about y'all's lazy, good-for-nothing boyfriends that just want to lay up under you all day. Their new mama. You might as well tell little buddy to find his own spot. I don't want to be the guy that moves in and has to constantly call security because your man and all his little friends is roaming around the property doing whatever. I don't want to be that guy. But anyway, as soon as I move in, I'm calling security.
You know how many people actually came to rent one of my units from me, and it's like you see the woman, you know that she's hardworking, she's kicking butt, and then you look at the dude, and you're like, oh. And then they fill out the app, and it's like, she does great things. He's still trying to figure out stuff. Ladies, if you're going to find a place and you're going to have to fill out the application with him, try to get him a job before or tell him he can't live there.
So on my 1500 reason for why I'm moving
in Atlanta feel like their place is your place. I don't know how. I just don't figure it out. I've just seen it too much to say that it's not just a mistake. For whatever reason, they just prey on the women that can get apartments.
Out of this luxury high-rise apartment, heavy on the luxury high-rise apartment. Okay, it's silly, but it's whatever. I don't give a freak. I think they have found my TikTok. Property manager, he's so not nice. Downstairs talking to the leasing agent, I needed a parking pass, right? Because remember, circling back, remember I told you guys I was not paying that $30 for a parking pass when I was only gonna be here for a few days? Yeah, long story short, I didn't pay that. I got a parking pass. The manager comes downstairs. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. He waves at the leasing agent and he doesn't say good morning or anything. Where are your freaking manners? So I'm kind of like, ew, okay, whatever. So fast forward later on, calls my phone to ask me about my unit so they could put it on the market. And he says, hey, miss, blah, blah, blah. And I said, hey, how are you? He says, I'm good. Do you think he asked me how I'm doing? F no, he didn't. Where are your freaking manners? So I just come to the conclusion, you don't like me. And this is the same person when I asked for help with something a few months, I needed them to fill out my apartment verification. He's like, I'm technically not here. Whatever. So I'm just like, why are you so rude? Like, I honestly cannot wait until they sign off on my deposit return slip so I can put the meanest fucking review on Google for them.
So this video is for my people that...
So imagine, I've seen these property managers, these guys that they get these positions to for property management. And bro, listen, you see these, you already look at Indeed, you look at Glassdoor. That'll tell you exactly the caliber of people you're dealing with for that apartment complex, the management of that apartment complex. You got to do the full search. You can't just say, oh, I just found a good place. I'm telling you what I'm telling you after close to 20 years of experience in the real estate market. Do your due diligence on that shit. Don't just take it as being you found a place. It'll make your life so much easier in
I've lived in Atlanta, live in Atlanta, or from Atlanta. So I moved to Atlanta about a year ago and I moved to the outskirts. I am in Smyrna right now. And I was like, you know what? I want to move a little bit closer to the city just for proximity and wanting to be closer to things. Not even closer to the city, really in the city. So that's what I've been doing, apartment hunting, looking at apartments in the city. But it's crazy the amount of apartments that I see that are deliberately in the hood, yet you're paying $2,000+ for these apartments. I've lived in multiple cities. I lived in Baltimore. I lived in Savannah. I'm in Atlanta now. And it's just crazy because I don't think I've ever seen any area where the residence is like literally in the center of the hood. I used to be confused, like, oh my God, like people say that their cars get broken into in Atlanta. Like I've never experienced that. But now viewing these apartments and the locations that they are, though they're very beautiful inside, I now see why y'all be getting robbed. Smyrna is literally Sunnyside, and now I like kind of regret ending my lease to move closer because nowhere feels safe. Like I'm touring a unit right now. I just pulled up and I'm like, are we in the trenches? So many abandoned buildings, so many alleys, and it's just insane. And the crazy part is like the areas where are more populated and seem to be safer, they're super expensive. Like this is...
Yeah, so Smyrna, just to give you perspective, the Braves Stadium for Atlanta sits right there in Smyrna. Even though they call it Atlanta, think of it like Atlanta said to Smyrna, we're taking your part of your territory. And Smyrna said, okay, you can have it, but just pay us this. But that's kind of what it's like, okay? So Smyrna, outside of Atlanta, great place to live at, great communities, great schools, great shopping, all of that good stuff. If you've lived there and then you got to move into Atlanta, you'll see what I'm talking about, because it's best place, I think, to live if you're going to move right to the city, or even if you're going to come and visit, or a Braves game, or even a basketball game or a football game. I would say hit Smyrna because you can jump right on 75 South and boom, right into the city. And you rocking. There's so much stuff you can see.
Not Georgia prices. I'm so shocked. Moving here from Jersey, New York area, I was expecting to get those better prices for like a good area. But no, it's almost as if Atlanta, like Midtown and good parts of downtown, is like Manhattan. Obviously, I know Manhattan's a lot more expensive. Like you get more of a bang for your buck here. But still, it is heavily, heavily expensive here, and I feel like nowhere feels safe. Like where I live in Smyrna, I literally live in a building where I can leave my car running and run back into my apartment if I forgot something. I leave my packages outside. I don't feel the need to go quickly run and get my packages. Like I will leave them sitting outside for some time. But these other buildings, and if you look at all the reviews on Google reviews, everybody is saying like, oh my God, my package got stolen, my car got broken into. I'm like, is it worth it moving into Atlanta like directly? I'm low-key considering just staying in Smyrna and getting another apartment there, but I just want to be closer. I'm tired of like driving 20 minutes and then hitting that Midtown traffic on I-75. But yeah.
So I would say don't do it. Don't do it. Keep your butt in Smyrna. Just do the drive. It's worth it. It's worth it for your peace of mind. It's worth it for your car. It's worth it for all of that. That's just my take on it. Y'all can choose to do what you want to do. As a vet that's been here, when I first came to the city, I was on the south side in Riverdale. We were paying like $500, $600, $700 a month. When I say we, it was me, my mom, my brother, stuff like that. It was almost like 30 years ago, bro. 25 years ago. Something like that. Some insane amount. It's not like that anymore. Places like Smyrna are probably the cheapest, are probably the safest place because the police department is always on it to actually live if you're going to be in proximity to the city of Atlanta. It's not going to be cheap. But who cares? You got to give up convenience for safety right now.
I only had to do this one time before when my college dorm moved me to somewhere with bed bugs and they wouldn't move me out, so I had to blast them on social media and then I got a new room. So today's blasting is going to be from Muse ATL, Great Star Community. My apartment flooded 2 or 3 days ago. Since then, it's been 2 or 3 days. I have not had a sink. It's filled with sewage water. It stinks in here. There's gnats everywhere. The maintenance staff is incompetent. The management staff is incompetent. They're pretty much looking at a lawsuit now. But maybe posting this video will help bring things along. I just got home from a long day, and the plumber's here ready to work, and maintenance isn't here. So he needs a wet vac team. He doesn't have what he needs to do the job.
Shorty, them tats are popping. I like those tats. I like them. They pop.
So again, I have extenuating circumstances that make me need to cook my own food. I can't even use my kitchen. I'm starving. I haven't ate home cooked food in 3 days because of them. So it's a lot going on, and I hope that this will be the little push they need to get this shit together.
Okay, hey girl. I know. I was supposed to give you this list a long time ago. I ain't forgot about you. I moved in 3 days. It's been hell, okay? But this is gonna be the list. I'm gonna put it right here.
of all the apartments that I've ever toured, and I'm going to rank them from high to lowest, and like my personal opinion, it really depends on what you're looking for. Like me, I'm a stickler about a bathtub. Some people only want showers. So that played into my ratings. The area, the cost is not, I'm not really, you know, but that matters to some people. Also, if they have a lot of space, it just really depends on what you are exactly looking for. But I will give you all the names, and I'll put them here again so y'all can screenshot it. Got it? Good. Now, what I will say about my top 5, I just want to talk about the top 5. My number 1.
Hey, follow the creator for names.
Obviously, is where I live, but I'm not going to tell y'all that. Very beautiful, very gentrified. The property itself, stunning, drop dead gorgeous. I can't wait to show y'all. Some of y'all will probably figure it out, but of course, I'll block the name. Moving on from that, number 2, Modera Reynoldstown. Beautiful. I love that apartment complex. Beautiful. I mean, you literally get your money's worth living over there. I toured a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom loft. Blew my fucking mind. The next one would be Alton East. I loved Alton East. The only thing is, if you want more space, you have to have a bigger budget, but the property is very, very nice. And moving on from that, I really love Taylor Old 4th Ward. The only problem with that is the apartment that I toured had a shitty ass view because they were doing construction right there. So it was just a no for me, especially for the price I would have been paying. Novel Midtown. Beautiful. Bitch, beautiful. The amenities, everything. My problem is I feel like it's overpriced. You are paying for what you get, but it's overpriced. Like, not gonna lie. But I think I got one more for you. Oh, Vibe at Echo Street. Love the property, hate the area. But if you're not a stickler about your area, definitely give it a shot. There's a piece that I just...
So I'm going to tell you, the area is important. It's very important. So don't let some of these communities pull you in and say, hey, man, you just love it. You love the amenities that they have. They probably got a pool. They probably do a party every Friday, whatever the case may be. The area is important. Please. It's not important to you until you actually come out in your car, windows are busted. Then you're like, damn, where did I move to? Facts, I'm telling you.
I want to clarify because I watched it back and I didn't really care for how it sounded. In terms of the budgeting for how much you want to pay in rent, what I meant by not being a stickler is I had a set price that I did not want to go over, but I did not have a set price that I wanted exactly for my rent. And that's what I meant by that. So as long as it wasn't over a certain amount per month just for the rent, this is just rent we're talking, not the amenities, nothing, utilities, whoop, whoop. That's what I mean by that set price. Like, I wasn't a stickler about it. As long as it didn't go over that set amount for just the base rent, I was comfortable with those apartments. So as you can see, if you go online and look at these apartments and stuff like that, they all range in various different prices. Like, some are up there, I'm not gonna lie, and some are very comfortable, like everyday market rate. You know what I mean? So just so this is clear.
If you can't tell, I moved. So let me tell you the horror story about moving in Atlanta or to Atlanta. First off, this is why I've been gone for a few days. But I got all new appliances. And you may be wondering, what that got to do with anything and how you get all new appliances? Well, let me tell you. I came in this bitch on Monday. Let's just say Monday. I'm like, damn, okay, all my shit here. We doing a little walkthrough shit. Cool. Let's say I come back on fucking Wednesday.
Hey, man, I'm sorry. Some of the cats in Atlanta, y'all be animated too much, bro.
Let's move in on Friday. I come back on Wednesday to do measurements. None of the goddamn appliances here. Them niggas got the washer, the dryer, the microwave, the oven, the fucking refrigerator. I said, what the fuck? And I know it wasn't no young niggas because I don't think young niggas grasp like the prices of appliances. So I know it was them. Nigga, it wasn't no holes in the walls. It wasn't nothing. It was so clean, I thought maintenance came and did it. It wasn't until I went and asked them, I said, damn, I'm supposed to move in on Friday where my appliances at, that everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. Fuck no. Nigga, everything was fucking gone. I can't make this shit up. And before y'all start, I stay in a good area. It's real quiet. Don't shit go on. You know, there'd be a couple loud cars, but that's Atlanta in general, nigga, I was shocked. I said, oh, not my lovely area. And no, I will not be saying where I stay, because I don't need you goddamn hoodlums moving in.
Atlanta and you're looking for somewhere to live, this ain't it. Do not move here. I'm telling you, do not move here. You will absolutely regret it. I don't care if they offer you 3 months worth of rent free. Do not do it. So just starting off, all your guests, and I mean every single one of them, all your guests have to pay $25 just to park. And if they...
I don't get it. Why is it that they keep doing this to you guys when you're looking for these apartments, and then you get an apartment and all of a sudden your guests got to pay? My wife had a friend in Atlanta. We had to pay to park at her house, at her freaking condo. And when that happened, I said, I ain't coming back down this joint again. I don't know. $19 just to park, just for like an hour? Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. I'm telling you.
Don't pay, their car is going to be booted within 5 minutes. If they're beyond their time, if they're supposed to be gone by 6 p.m., at 6:05, their car is booted. I'm not making this up. I wish I was making this up. Let's not get into the lovely amenities. Gorgeous view. Lovely view. Just can't get over it. Phenomenal. It's just something about the box and the plastic that's just screaming luxury to me. Oh yeah, not to mention when the trash people get upset, they just... This is what I'm paying for. This is the valet trash that I'm paying for. Every floor of the parking garage is like this. Like, you can't make this up at all. And you know what happens when you try and, address your concerns with the leasing office? You know what happens? They fucking block you! They literally block you. They block you. Let that sink. Let me take my glasses off. Look me in the eyes. They block you. When I say don't move here, do not move here. The management is absolute trash. I've had better customer service going through the drive-through of a Checkers. I've had better customer service at Waffle House than I've had with this management company.
Dude, I play this so that you guys can get it, and when you get it, you get it. Please. Now, if you stay to the end of this video, this last reaction right here, this is going to give you a tip, because I believe...
Before I tell you this, no.
And they're looking for me to help them buying rentals. I tell them that I don't do rentals. And I don't do rentals specifically for this. Now, if you're looking for an off-market property, just hop into the DM, check out the description, join our off-market property list, get yourself a deal in Atlanta. Trying to even sell the property. We got a flat fee deal. We can sell your property. But when it comes to rentals, there are better people doing it than we are, because they have to deal with this type of craziness. So I always send them to somebody who specializes in rentals. Please don't think because you got an agent in Atlanta, that agent is going to help you find your rental property. It doesn't work like that. Most Atlanta agents deal with properties for sale, not for rent. Unlike New York, or most people coming from up top, they're used to dealing with agents, but here is a little bit different.
This is not an ad, but you will thank me. If you live in Atlanta and you are looking to rent somewhere new, I can promise you this resource, first of all, nobody knows about it, but it is so helpful. It's called Smart City Atlanta, and it's all licensed real estate agents that the city pays, so it's completely free. What they do is they pair you up with a licensed real estate agent who is obviously familiar with the area, and from that point on, you essentially do not have to do any work. You just have to provide them with like your credit score, your yearly income or your monthly income, basically give them like a wish list, tell them what you're looking for. Not only will they set up all your tours for you and make sure that all of the apartments are good rated apartments with good reviews, nothing trashy. They will set them all up within 48 hours of each other, all in a couple days, so that you will for sure get the concessions deals that they're offering, and they get you pre-approved for every single apartment. So you won't be wasting any money on application fees. You literally have to do zero work. You literally just have to say like, this is what I'm looking for, and they will find you the best deal. And they're the first point of contact. So You don't have to do any work. Thank me later. Thank me later.
All right. Yo, hey guys, like, subscribe, follow for more content. I appreciate you watching me to the end of this stream. I do have a bunch of other stories, but I'm going to clip it. Because if you don't know, this is my second time. I got knocked off, then I got put back on. But I enjoy what I do, guys. And also, again, if you want to get a private, our private property list, you're welcome to go ahead and do that. I'll see you guys on the next stream. Have a blessed day. Remember who you are in God, and remember that Jesus loves you.